Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association.
If you have a news topic or event you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show runs Thursday at noon, 3 and 6 p.m. and again is re-aired later throughout the weekend with the other weekday broadcast replays. Today is February 22nd, 2018. And now the news at noon.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, more than 50 local government officials, candidates for office, and residents filled the Cortez City Council members on Tuesday to discuss the goal of broadband for Montezuma County. County and municipal governments have been working to bring fast, affordable internet into southwest Colorado for several years, but funds to install the infrastructure have been elusive. Tuesday's discussion was open to the public and live-streamed on the City of Cortez's website. Speakers seem to agree that rural areas need internet. 3 junior students from Montezuma Cortez High School said they need access for homework, online classes, and printing their assignments. But they said many classmates don't have access outside school and face a disadvantage. Retiree Warren Gasper said that if not for Dolores-based Zoomacom, he and his wife likely wouldn't stay in Cortez. Other internet providers don't serve his area, he said, and he needs internet service to operate a home-based business. Kent Rogers, CEO of Southwest Health System, said internet service allows local doctors to share information with hospitals and gives patients access to long-distance telemedicine, which he sees as the future of rural healthcare. Employees of the Regional Assisted Living Group, C&G, Healthcare Management, and Cortez-based Osprey PACs said they couldn't do their jobs without internet. The Federal Communications Commission defines broadband as internet with a speed of at least 25 megabits per second for download and 3 megabits per second for upload. We get about half that most of the time. But Miriam Gilla-Wiles, a member of the Southwest Colorado Council of Governments, said it's rare for those speeds to be available here. And because of the difficulty of installing fiber in the mountains and for small rural populations, she said investment funds are hard to come by. Gilla-Wiles said a few electric co-ops in Colorado are looking into providing broadband, and there are federal and state incentives for companies to provide internet, but she added that most incentives are available only to a few large companies like CenturyLink.
In a local election news update, a reminder that the upcoming caucuses are for those registered as in a political party such as Republican or Democrat to select the candidates to go on to the primary stage. At that point, unaffiliated registered voters will, for the first time this year, be able to participate in voting in one primary. You have to choose, for example, either Democratic ticket or Republican in the primary voting. The Colorado State primary is June 26, 2018. The general election isn't until November 6, 2018. As updated in the Dove Creek Press for Dolores County, the following candidates are registered for the upcoming 2018 municipal elections. For the assessor, Berna Erst, incumbent, Republican. For the coroner, Aaron Hankins, Republican. For the clerk and recorder, there's Lana Hancock, Republican, Jennifer Hatfield, Republican, Crystal Jarman, Republican, Melissa Reed, unaffiliated, and Ashley Spigner, Republican. For the sheriff position, all 3 deputies are running: David Harrington, Republican, Timothy Rowell, Republican, and Leslie Don Wilson, unaffiliated. Dolores Janie Stiasny is unaffiliated and running for re-election as treasurer, and for Commissioner District 1, incumbent Julie Keibel, Republican, is also running. The Dolores County Republican Party will be holding their caucus March 6, 2018 at 7 p.m. at the Public Service Center located at 8477 Road 7.7 in Dove Creek. All Dolores County precincts will be held at this location. The purpose of the caucus is to elect delegates for the County Assembly, which is scheduled for March 13th at the same location at 7 p.m. These same delegates will then be eligible to go on to the District Assembly and the State Convention. Our local town of Dove Creek also has an election cycle forthcoming. 8 candidates are running for the town trustee positions in alphabetical order: Grant Allen, Yvonne Boyd, Jeff Carhart, Tori Davis, Levi Garcher, Rick Gersh, Julie Hemphill, and Charlotte Miller, while Brett Martin will be running for mayor. Dove Creek elections for those registered to vote within the town limits will be held April 3rd, 2018. DCTV hopes to be bringing you some coverage of candidate forums where available, as well as offering the candidates the opportunity to stop in the studio by appointment and be interviewed for Talk Tuesday, our evening interview program.
From our local Dove Creek Press, on Thursday, February 15th, a Dolores County Commissioner provided testimony in support of H.R. 4609, West Fork Fire Station Conveyance Act of 2017 during a hearing in the House Natural Resources Federal Land Subcommittee. H.R. 4609 would permit the U.S. Forest Service to transfer 3.61 acres of land to Dolores County, Colorado, allowing the county to build and operate a fire station in the West Fork community, which is surrounded by the San Juan National Forest. The need for a fire department in the West Fork has been obvious for a long time. Residents have had no ability to purchase fire insurance for their homes. The surrounding fire districts are providing emergency services when they're available, and they've become overburdened. Additionally, the more than 26-mile response distance to most calls was just simply unacceptable, said Floyd Cook. As stated, the conveyance of this parcel is the last piece to providing fire prevention in the West Fork area, potentially saving lives, loss of property, and to help protect our forests. Congressman Scott Tipton advocated for H.R. 4609, and in his opening statement before the subcommittee, Tipton spoke of the West Fork community's proximity to the San Juan National Forest and how that location puts the community at risk for suffering damage caused by dangerous wildfires.
From the Durango Herald, photo courtesy of the Journal. Federal and state data shows the majority of fatal car crashes in La Plata County happen on U.S. Highway 160. The 1,465-mile-long highway starts in Colorado at the New Mexico state line southwest of Cortez and ends at the Kansas state line east of Springfield. In the last 5 years, more than 10 fatal crashes happened on U.S. Highway 160 east of Durango, according to data from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. In 2016 alone, 10 people were killed in traffic accidents in La Plata County, 4 of which occurred on U.S. Highway 160. 3 of those crashes involved impaired drivers. The statewide total for fatal crashes in 2016 was 558, 175 caused by impaired drivers, in which 608 people were killed. So, Sawaya law firm created an interactive map with data that spans from 2010 to 2016, where viewers can track where fatal crashes happened and what factors contributed to them, including alcohol, drugs, distracted driving, aggressive driving, and failure to yield. Sam Cole, Traffic Safety Communications Manager for the Colorado Department of Transportation, said about 1/3 of all fatal crashes involved impaired drivers. We saw impaired fatalities go up in 2017, he said. We also noticed a spike in unbelted fatalities. In 2017, 11 people were killed in traffic accidents in La Plata County, of which 3 involved impaired drivers, according to CDOT. There were 598 fatal crashes in 2017 across Colorado, 222 caused by an impaired driver, resulting in 646 deaths. Cole said fatal crashes are typically attributed to one of 3 factors, or a combination of the 3: speed, unbelted drivers, and or impaired drivers. Crashes that involve death or serious injury are of utmost importance to us, he said. We put a tremendous amount of effort into addressing these accidents through funding law enforcement efforts and awareness campaigns for the dangers on our roadways. CDOT helped fund the Click It or Ticket and high visibility enforcement campaigns in conjunction with the holidays and other major events during the year when people are more likely to drink and drive. We are seeing fatalities spike higher in Colorado than the rest of the country because we do not have a lot of the same protections that other states have, Cole said. Adult motorcyclists are not required to wear a helmet in Colorado. Likewise, drivers cannot be pulled over in Colorado for not wearing a seatbelt, even though seatbelts are mandatory for drivers and all front seat passengers. Drivers can be ticketed for not wearing a seatbelt if they are pulled over for a different traffic violation, such as speeding. The seatbelt law is weakly enforced, Cole said. We try to get law enforcement to really pay attention to ticketing drivers for not buckling up if they pull them over for another offense.
Reported by the Durango Herald, the first blood test to help doctors diagnose traumatic brain injuries has won U.S. government approval. The move means Banyan Biomarkers can commercialize its test, giving the company an early lead on in the biotech industry's race to find a way to diagnose concussions. The test doesn't detect concussions, and the approval won't immediately change how patients with suspected concussions or other brain trauma are treated. But Wednesday's green light by the Food and Drug Administration is a big deal because then it opens the door and accelerates technology, said Michael McCree, a brain injury expert at Medical College of Wisconsin. The test detects two proteins present in brain cells that can leak into the bloodstream following a blow to the head. Banyan's research shows the test can detect them within 12 hours of the injury. It's designed to help doctors quickly determine which patients with suspected concussions may have brain bleeding or other brain injury. Patients with a positive test would need a CT scan to confirm the results and determine if surgery or other treatment is needed. The test will first be used in emergency rooms, possibly as soon as later this year, but Banyan's hope is that it will eventually be used on battlefields and football fields. FDA Commissioner Dr. Scott Gottlieb said the test fits with the agency's goals for delivering new technologies to patients and reducing unnecessary radiation exposure. And now, let's take a look at the weather.
The National Weather Map shows significant stretches of cold low-pressure systems across much of the U.S., while the high pressure off the southeastern coast is just helping to bring in more moisture to the storms continuing up the eastern seaboard. The prediction is that the area where back-to-back snowstorms are pummeling the north-central U.S. and will continue to do so into the weekend. These two storms, a couple of days apart, are traveling the same path from Nebraska to Minnesota, Wisconsin, and northern Michigan. Additional snowfall could be up to half a foot or more. While all of the heavy moisture and already existing flooding in the Midwest, the forecast is predicting more flooding possible throughout the area. Snow and a wintry mix will transition to ice in Omaha, Nebraska, and Des Moines, Iowa. And we're looking for snow to break out from northeastern Colorado, western Kansas, and much of Nebraska, with a wintry mix and ice farther to the east over the Central Plains from Friday afternoon into Saturday morning. That second storm wave may present even more snowfall along with winds, which could create blizzard conditions in spots over the weekend. Regionally, what does this mean? I think it's called winter, and with less than a month to go, technically. The hazardous outlook states that widespread snow will continue across much of the southwest and central Colorado this morning. An additional 2 to 4 inches in Pagosa Springs area is expected this morning, and from 3 to 6 inches in the southwest San Juan Mountains. Snow becomes more showery and scattered in coverage this afternoon. Additional accumulations will be more localized, with heavy bursts of snow possible over the higher terrain this afternoon. Light scattered snow showers are expected to continue tonight. The weather pattern will remain active during the latter part of the week through the middle of the upcoming week. A storm arriving Friday has the potential to yield significant snowfall accumulations through Saturday. Additional snowfall is possible into Sunday and then again Tuesday night and Wednesday of next week. Our local DCTV 5-day outlook is showing today a 20% chance of snow showers before 3 p.m., partly sunny with a high near 31, and we already know it was snowing this morning. West-northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour becoming south-southwest 10 to 15 miles an hour in the afternoon, and winds could gust up to 25 miles an hour, so there could, with that light fluffy stuff, be some drifting. Tonight, a 50% chance of snow showers mainly after 8 p.m. Mostly cloudy with a low around 19 degrees. South winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. New snow accumulations of less than a half an inch are possible. And then Friday, a 50% chance of snow showers. Cloudy with a high near 30 degrees. South winds 15 miles an hour with gusts as high as 25. New snow accumulations Friday of less than 1 inch possible. Friday night, again, a 50% chance of snow showers, mainly before 11 p.m. Mostly cloudy, and then gradually becoming mostly clear with a low down to a cold 9 degrees. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. New snow accumulation of less than a half an inch possible. Saturday is sunny with a high near just 29 degrees. North-northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming west-southwest in the afternoon. Saturday night, a 20% chance of snow showers is possible after 11 p.m. Mostly cloudy with a low around 14. Sunday mostly sunny with a high near 31. Sunday night clear with a low around 14 degrees. Monday sunny with a high near 40 degrees. Monday night partly cloudy with a low around 22. Tuesday mostly sunny with a high near 44 degrees, and Tuesday night mostly cloudy with a low around 25 as it starts to warm up a bit. And now back to the news.
Reported by the Durango Herald, for more than a decade, the strongest AIDS drugs could not fully control Matt Chappelle's HIV infection. Now his body controls it by itself, and researchers are trying to perfect the gene editing that made this possible. Scientists removed some of his blood cells, disabled a gene to help them resist HIV, and returned these edited cells to him in 2014. So far, it has given the San Francisco man the next best thing to a cure. He says he's been off medication for 3 years. He even was able to keep the virus in check despite cancer treatments last year that taxed his immune system. Chappelle was lucky, though. Only a few of the 100 others in those experiments were able to stay off HIV drugs for a couple of years. The rest still need medicines to keep HIV suppressed. Now, researchers think they can improve the treatment and are trying again to tackle HIV by doctoring DNA. New studies to test these tweaked approaches in people are getting underway. Gene therapy techniques have advanced greatly, said Dr. Otto Yang of the UCLA AIDS Institute, one place working on this. A lot of people are thinking it's the right time to go back. They include Dr. Anthony Fauci, director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, which is funding some of the new studies. He doesn't think the technique will become common because millions of people do well on existing treatments. But he says it could help those who can't easily control the virus and should be pursued because it holds potential for a cure.
From the Denver Channel 7 News, at least 3 Colorado students face misdemeanor charges for making threats to their schools this past week, just days after the 17 people were shot and killed at a Florida high school. Several school districts across the state stepped up security this week after the shooting at Marjory Stoneham Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida last week. But students in Jefferson County and Mesa County were issued charges relating to threats Monday and Tuesday. A high school student in Jefferson County schools could potentially face charges on more than 100 counts of harassment and interfering with school operations after he allegedly took a friend's picture, added a caption that threatened violence, and posted the image to Snapchat for students at Dakota Ridge and Columbine high schools to see. School officials said that the threat was meant to be a joke, but after 60 students reported the threat on an anonymous app and more than 200 calls were made to 911, the student was contacted by law enforcement. You can't say bomb on a plane, you can't say fire in a theater, and you certainly can't say shooting at a school, said John McDonald, the executive director of Security and Emergency Management for Jefferson County Schools. And on Tuesday, 2 students at Caprock Academy in Grand Junction were arrested and issued summons on charges of interference with staff, faculty, or students of an education institution, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Grand Junction police said the 2 students were overheard talking about the Florida shooting and, quote, making comments that were perceived as threatening to the safety of the school. Police said several students who overheard the conversation reported it to school staffers, who then alerted police. Police said there was ultimately no immediate threat to safety at the campus, but the teens, ages 15 and 16, were summoned and released to their parents. The latest arrests come after a teenager at Grand Junction High School was arrested a day after the Florida shooting when he allegedly bragged that he could have done more damage. Quote, we want to commend the students who were brave enough to report this to school staff. It's imperative that students are able to be the eyes and ears of our schools and that they feel safe in reporting something that could protect themselves, their fellow students, and their teachers, the police department said. They went on to say, please continue to encourage your kids to speak out about anything they believe could indicate a threat to their safety or the safety of others.
According to the Durango Herald, a precision nutrition approach to weight loss didn't hold up in a study testing low-fat versus low-carb, depending on dieters' DNA profiles. Previous research has suggested that a person's insulin levels or certain genes could interact with different types of diets to influence weight loss. Stanford University researchers examined this idea with 600 overweight adults who underwent genetic and insulin testing before being randomly assigned to reduce fat or carbohydrate intake. Gene analysis identified variations linked with how the body processes fats or carbohydrates, which the researchers thought would make them more likely to lose weight on a low-fat or low-carb diet. But weight loss averaged about 13 pounds over a year, regardless of genes, insulin levels, or diet type. Also, some people lost as much as 60 pounds and others gained 15 pounds. More evidence that genetic characteristics and diet type appeared to make no difference. What seemed to make a difference was healthful eating. Participants on both diets who consumed the fewest processed foods, sugary drinks, unhealthy fats, and ate the most vegetables lost the most weight. The results suggest that precision medicine is not as important as eating mindfully, getting rid of packaged, processed food, and avoiding unhealthy habits like eating while watching television, said lead author Christopher Gardner. The study was published Tuesday in the Journal of the American Medical Association.
Broncos are going mobile only. This is the word from a recent Denver Post article with photo credit to the Denver Broncos. Printed PDF tickets will no longer be accepted for entry at the team's stadium beginning with the 2018 pro season, as the team moves to a digital-only entry system like those already in use by the Atlanta Falcons and the Dallas Cowboys. Fans, whether they're season ticket holders or single-game buyers, can access their tickets by downloading the Denver Bronco 365 app or through their Ticketmaster account manager on their mobile device. And there's a backup plan for those who do not have a smartphone or email. The Broncos have RFID radio frequency identification cards available through the ticket offices. Broncos Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing Dennis Moore said the change is about ticket security and convenience. Digital ticketing reduces fraud and speeds entry while leaving fans control of their accounts and their ability to transfer or sell tickets. For example, instead of forwarding PDF tickets via email or printing them out and giving them to others in a group, fans can transfer them with a couple of clicks on their mobile device without running the risk of losing physical tickets. Season ticket holders will be alerted to the mobile-only change today, Thursday, when invoices are sent out by the team. Hiccups are expected with the transition, and the Broncos are gearing up accordingly, fully expecting that the change will cause some fans angst. The transition is a league-wide initiative that began last year when the NFL extended its partnership with Ticketmaster. As part of the agreement, Ticketmaster is providing the league with its software Presence that uses proximity-based technology and a tap-and-go system for fans to eliminate the need for print-at-home tickets. By 2019, all 32 NFL teams will employ barcode-less entry. This really is a culmination of a process that we started back in 2015, Moore said. We have had no printed non-PDF season tickets since the 2015 season, so our fans are very accustomed to not having a printed ticket. As of last year, over 1/3 of our fans have already adopted mobile as their preferred choice for stadium entry. Last year, the Broncos faced heat for an off-season audit that legally booted season ticket holders who did not attend a single game. Doing so led to upgrades for approximately 2,000 accounts, totaling nearly 5,000 seats, and allowed the team to make some season tickets available to fans on the 75,000 person waiting list. While the Broncos say they will continue to take steps to make sure season tickets are used by fans who go to games, significant changes to the season ticket base are not expected following last year's ticket review. But the new technology will provide the Broncos with more information about who is in their building and where, and the team says such data will only help them to improve their fan experience.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of February 12th through the 18th. A resident motorist reported a reckless tractor trailer speeding and making unsafe passes. Colorado State Patrol made contact with the vehicle and issued a warning. A town business reported a theft of items that included employees' personal items. An officer responded and the case is under investigation. That concludes this week's Roundup. Stay tuned for continued updates.
And today's High Canyon Country happenings: Fire in the Hole, Flame Effects for the Artist Workshop and Event, February 24th and 25th in Telluride. Their friends at the amazing Deep Creek Mine Project have invited them to go down a hole with them for a full weekend of learning and making fire in one of the most unusual classroom and workshop settings they've ever visited. This is the class for all artists, mechanical enthusiasts, and all of who wish to incorporate fire aspects into their projects. This is your chance to learn how to meet NFPA standards, hear from others working flame effects where you live, and have fun while learning safe practices. It's 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day, hosted by poofersupply.com, where you can get your tickets and more information. Yes, I didn't know this was something to do. Lighthouse Christian Academy will be hosting a skeet shoot competition to help seniors raise money to go on their senior trip this year. At the Cortez Trap Club, starting at 9 a.m., there will be 4 classes: expert, men, women, and youth. Cash prizes will be awarded in each class. Concessions will be available for donations, including hamburgers, chips, and drinks. The cost is $30 per ticket. What to bring is your shotgun, a box of shells, and your ticket. For more information, or the tickets, call 970-565-9302. And have you been watching curling in the Winter Olympic Games? Interested in learning more about this intriguing sport? Want to give curling a try? Go to Telluride Curling Club's Olympic Curling Open House. That's this Sunday, February 25th, from 1 to 4:30 p.m. at the Henley Ice Rink in Telluride Town Park. Or try your hand at delivering the stones, sweeping, and learning more about this fantastic sport. All ages are welcome, and it's free of charge. And I've been scouring the YouTube and Facebook videos spoofing curling, using rolling chairs, beer curling, Rumbas and Swiffers, and even a cat. So, Dove Creek Challenge. What would curling look like in the culture here? Get it on video and link it up on Facebook. And we hope to see you out at the State Line on Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. for the women's final. That'll be at State Line Bar at 3 p.m. And all of these happenings are posted on DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather and original stories, and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us. It's dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station at 970-677-4119, and we'll be sure to get your news on the air.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday and then is rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. on each of those days. The weekday news shows are then replayed throughout the weekend as well.
And be sure to check us out on Facebook. I'd like to make an adjustment. It's Friday is the women's at State Line Bar and Grill around 1:30, and then Saturday at 3 o'clock is the men's final. So just come out Friday and Saturday in the afternoons and you can enjoy some curling on TV. And be sure to check out the Facebook page. It's DCTV News at Noon. Please like us there and share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.